The manila envelope felt heavy in my hands, though it contained just 3 sheets of paper. A rental application from my flagship apartment complex. Nothing unusual there. But the names listed made my coffee go cold. Karen Fowler, Wilson Fowler, and Lacey Fowler. My mother, father, and golden child sister, now desperate enough to rent from a stranger. I'm Rose, and I've spent the last decade becoming that stranger. Did you see this yet? I texted Leo, my business partner. He replied instantly. The universe has a sense of humour. It did. 10 years ago, I sat in our family kitchen, scholarship acceptance letter in hand, begging my parents to co-sign my student loans. Mum barely looked up from her phone. Rose, honey, we just can't right now. We had to help Lacey with her new business venture. Her ice cream truck in Bali, I asked. The one she abandoned after 2 weeks? It was a learning experience, Mum snapped. Besides, you're the responsible one. You'll figure it out. That night, I ate ramen in my cramped studio apartment and made a promise to myself. While they poured money into Lacey's endless ventures, the failed jewelry line, the crypto scam, the Instagram influencer phase, I would build something real, something they'd never see coming. I worked 2 jobs through college, barista by day, bookkeeper by night. Every spare dollar went into real estate courses. When Lacey got her 3rd car paid off by Dad, I bought my first foreclosure property. While Mum funded Lacey's wellness retreat in Sedona, I renovated that house myself and flipped it for double. You should try manifesting abundance like Lacey, Mum told me last Christmas, watching me eat the cheapest item on the menu at our family dinner. She's got such a gift for attracting success. I smiled and said nothing. By then, I owned 12 properties under my LLC, the apartment complex they were now applying to. That was lucky number 13. My phone buzzed. A message from Isaiah, my property manager. Got an interesting applicant today. Karen something. Says she knows people who could be very valuable connections for us. Thoughts? I clicked through their application. Credit scores in the gutter, multiple evictions, references that read like desperate favours. The mighty had fallen, and they didn't even know whose mercy they were at. A voicemail notification popped up. Mum's voice oozed through the speaker. Hello, this is Karen Fowler calling about Unit 507. Such a lovely building you have. My younger daughter Lacey, you might know her, she has quite a following online. She's very interested in possibly doing some influencer promotion for you. We should discuss terms that could benefit us both. I deleted the message, remembering the day I graduated college. I'd landed a junior position at a real estate firm, but Mum and Dad skipped the ceremony for Lacey's crystal healing workshop in Sedona. It's just undergraduate, Mum said. Lacey's building her brand. Now I owned the building they needed to live in. The wheel had finally turned. I pulled up the surveillance feed from the lobby. There was Mum, designer bag worn but still proudly displayed, lecturing my front desk clerk about proper respect for potential tenants. Behind her, Lacey posed for selfies in front of our fountain, probably crafting some story about her next chapter for her dwindling followers. Dad stood quietly to the side, just like always, just like when I needed him. What are you thinking? Leo texted again. I watched my family on the screen. These people who never saw me coming, who still didn't see me. The power to accept or reject them now rested entirely in my hands. I'm thinking, I typed back, it's time they learned what character building really feels like. I opened my laptop and began drafting a very special lease agreement, one with terms they'd never forget, one that would make every dismissal, every disappointment, every "sorry, we gave your college fund to Lacey" moment worth it. My phone buzzed again. Mum, calling directly this time, probably to name-drop more of Lacey's connections, to manipulate her way in, like always. I let it ring. Your application is being processed, I typed in an email using my property manager account. Please note that due to your credit history, additional terms may apply. I hit send and leaned back, remembering Mum's favourite phrase whenever I complained about Lacey getting everything while I got nothing. Life isn't fair, Rose. The sooner you accept that, the better. She was right. Life isn't fair. But sometimes it's just... Ms. Rose, Isaiah here. Mrs. Karen called again. She's persistent. I switched my phone to speaker, while sorting through their financial documents. What did she say this time? That her daughter's TikTok could revolutionize our marketing strategy. She also mentioned knowing several real estate developers. Isaiah paused. Should I tell her the owner doesn't accept social media as currency? Not yet. Let's see how deep this hole goes. I spread their paperwork across my desk. 3 eviction notices in 2 years, a bankruptcy filing from Dad, 6 maxed-out credit cards between Mum and Lacey. Their references were worse, obviously fake numbers or friends who'd clearly been coached to lie. Remember when I needed a reference for my first apartment? I texted Leo, attaching a photo of their application. The time your mum said she was too busy because of Lacey's pop-up shop opening? The very one. Guess who's suddenly available to make calls every hour on the hour? My office phone rang. Mum's number. Again. Rose. Honey? Her voicemail clicked in. I know we haven't talked much lately, but I wanted to tell you about this amazing apartment complex we found. Lacey thinks it could be perfect for her next chapter. Of course, your father and I would be helping her with the space. She paused. Actually, if you're doing well with your, real estate thing, maybe you could put in a good word with the owner? For family? I clicked delete, remembering a different phone call. Me, sophomore year, sitting on my dorm room floor. Mum, I can't make rent this month. The scholarship only covers tuition, and my job cut my hours. Oh, honey, this isn't a good time. We're at Lacey's fashion show. Did you try manifesting abundance? I'm literally eating ramen for every meal. That's character building. You'll thank me someday. Oops, Lacey's walking now. Got to go. A new email popped up from Isaiah. Mrs. Karen brought cookies to the office. Says they're her famous recipe. Should I add bribery to the file? I smiled despite myself. Save one for evidence. How's Lacey behaving? Taking selfies in front of every amenity. Told 3 different staff members she's kind of a big deal. Her Instagram bio now says, future resident of luxury living. Speaking of Instagram, I pulled up Lacey's profile. Between the filtered photos and inspirational quotes, reality was bleeding through. Passive-aggressive posts about fake friends who wouldn't loan her money, vague references to haters, probably debt collectors. A story highlight titled New Beginnings that was just photos of our building. Leo, you free for lunch? I texted. Need a sanity check? We met at our usual spot, a quiet cafe where I'd once worked doubles to afford real estate classes. Leo slid into the booth with 2 coffees. So, he said, the prodigal family returns to your building without knowing it's yours. Karma's got a weird sense of timing. What's your play here? I pulled out their application. Legally, I have every right to reject them. Bad credit, history of evictions, false references. But rejection is too easy. They just move on, never learning anything. I took a sip of coffee. I'm thinking approved, with conditions. Leo raised an eyebrow. The kind of conditions that make rejection look merciful. The kind that make them feel exactly how I felt, every single day. Rose. Leo leaned forward. I get it. God, do I get it. I watched you eat vending machine dinners while they posted photos from 5-star restaurants. But revenge is tricky. It can eat you alive. My phone buzzed. Another voicemail from Mum. Hello again. Just wanted to mention that Lacey knows several lawyers who specialise in housing discrimination. Not that we'd ever need that. Just making conversation. I played it for Leo. His eyes widened. Is she seriously trying to threaten her way into my building? Apparently. I checked my watch. Isaiah says they're coming by again at 3 to check on their application. What are you going to do? I pulled out my laptop and opened a new document. I'm going to give them exactly what they want. A lease, with terms that will make them wish I'd rejected them instead. Rose? They wanted character building. I started typing. Let's build some character. My phone lit up with a text from Isaiah. Mrs. Karen asking about the owner again. Says she won't leave until she speaks to them personally. Tell her the owner will be in touch soon, I replied. Very soon. I looked at Leo. Want to help me draft the lease agreement from hell? He sighed, but pulled his chair closer. Just remember, you're better than them. Don't lose that. I I thought about all the times I'd called home for help, all the times I'd been dismissed, ignored, or told to be more like Lacey. "Don't worry," I said, fingers hovering over the keyboard. "I'm nothing like them. That's the point." The lobby security footage played on my laptop screen. Mum stood at the front desk, her designer bag now sporting a visible repair, jabbing her finger at Maria, our newest clerk. "I don't understand why you can't just tell me who owns this building," Mum snapped. "Don't you know who my daughter is?" Maria maintained her professional smile. "Ma'am, as I explained, we respect all our owners' privacy. Your application is still under review." "Under review? Do you know how many followers Lacey has?" I switched to another camera feed. Lacey was in the courtyard, phone in hand, recording herself against the fountain backdrop. "Hey besties!" Her voice carried through the speakers. "Your girl's about to level up. Can't wait to show you my gorgeous new place. Swipe up for my manifestation course that made this possible." I clicked over to her Instagram. Between the filtered photos and motivational quotes, desperate reality leaked through. Comments were turned off on recent posts, probably to hide the debt collectors. Her follower count dropped daily. My phone buzzed. A text from Raquel, who'd gone to college with Lacey. "Girl, you will not believe who I just saw in my debt collection queue." We met for coffee an hour later. Raquel hadn't changed much since graduation, still sharp-eyed, still couldn't keep a secret. "So," she said, sliding into the booth, "your sister finally hit bottom. You tell me. 3 credit cards in default, 2 personal loans. She tried opening accounts under your mum's name, but Karen's credit is shot too." Raquel stirred her latte. "Remember when she borrowed 10 grand from me for that guaranteed investment? The crypto thing. Never saw a penny back. But your mum sent me a long email about how I should be honoured to support young female entrepreneurs." She rolled her eyes. "Now, Lacey's telling people she's moving into luxury apartments. How's she affording that?" I sipped my coffee. "She's not. Yet. You know something. Maybe." Raquel leaned forward. "Spill. Let's just say, karma's finally showing up. Wait." Her eyes widened. "That building she's been posting about, the one with the fountain, isn't that—" Technically, this conversation never happened. Holy shit. Raquel sat back. "Does she know?" "Not yet." "Girl." She pulled out her phone. "You need to see something. Lacey sent this to everyone who she owes money to last month." The message was pure Lacey. "Don't worry about the debt. I've got a foolproof plan. There's someone who owes me big time. Once I cash in that chip, everyone gets paid." My stomach tightened. "Did she say who?" "No, but—" Raquel hesitated. "She was telling people at the bar last week that she had dirt on someone successful, someone who abandoned their family or something. Said she just needed to find the right pressure point." I thought about the LLC ownership documents, carefully hidden behind layers of legal protection. About the security measures Leo insisted on when we started buying properties. "She won't find anything," I said, more to myself than Raquel. "Maybe not. But Rose?" Raquel touched my hand. "Be careful. Lacey's desperate. Karen's enabling her like crazy. They're both unhinged." My phone buzzed, Isaiah sending another security clip. Lacey was at the front desk now, demanding to know why her application needed extra review. "Don't they know who I am?" Her voice cracked with familiar entitlement. "My followers would love this place. I'm basically doing you a favour by living here." Maria remained calm. "The owner reviews all applications personally, Ms. Lacey?" "The owner?" Lacey's tone changed. "What's their name? Maybe we have mutual connections." "I'm afraid that's confidential." "Listen." Lacey leaned in, dropping her voice. "Between us, I know some things about certain people. Important people. Maybe we could help each other out." I closed the video, feeling sick. Same old Lacey, always looking for an angle, a shortcut, someone to manipulate. "Thanks for the heads up," I told Raquel, standing to leave. "What are you going to do?" I thought about the lease agreement sitting on my desk, about the special clauses Leo helped me draft. "I'm going to give them exactly what they want," I smiled, "with a few character-building conditions." "Rose," Raquel called as I reached the door. Whatever you're planning, make it good. Some of us have been waiting years to see karma catch up with them. My phone lit up with another text from Isaiah. Mrs. Karen asking about owner again. Says she knows someone named R. Fowler who might be connected to the building. Should I confirm or deny? I typed back, tell her you'll look into it. And Isaiah, save all security footage of their visits. We might need it later. The pieces were falling into place. Soon, very soon, they'd learn what it felt like to be on the other side of manipulation. To be the ones without power, without options. To be me, all those years ago, calling home for help and finding none. You're crossing a line, Leo said, reviewing the lease terms I'd drafted. We sat in my home office, takeout containers pushed aside to make room for paperwork. Am I? Look at this. I showed him Mum's latest email to Isaiah. She's already threatening discrimination lawsuits if they're not approved. Still? Leo pointed to page 3. Mandatory financial counselling, monthly tenant character assessments, no guests for 6 months. All legal, I checked. Legal isn't the same as right, Rose. My phone buzzed, another security alert. Lacey was in the lobby again, this time wearing what looked like borrowed business clothes. I need to speak with the owner, she demanded. I have a business proposition they'll want to hear. Isaiah's voice came through clear. The owner reviews applications through proper channels, ma'am. But I'm not like other applicants. Lacey leaned over the desk. I have information about certain people, important people. Are you attempting to blackmail our owner, ma'am? Blackmail? Lacey laughed nervously. No, just networking. Tell them the name Lacey means something. I closed the feed. Still think I'm being too harsh? Leo sighed. Look, I get it. But this level of control, the psychological warfare, you're better than this. Am I? Because I learned from the best. I pulled up an old photo on my phone. Me at college graduation, alone, because they were at Lacey's crystal healing workshop. That's their karma, not yours to enforce. Then whose? I stood up, pacing. You know what Mum said when I got my first property. Oh, honey, real estate is so risky. Why can't you do something spiritual like Lacey? When I made my first $1 million. That's nice, dear, but money isn't everything. They never saw me, never valued me. And now you have power over them. Leo's voice was gentle. The question is, what kind of power will you be? My laptop chimed. An email from Isaiah. Mrs. Karen insisting on speaking to R. Fowler directly. Says she knows that's the owner's name. Getting aggressive with staff. Perfect timing, I muttered, pulling up the building's security cameras. Mum was at the front desk, designer scarf askew, gesturing wildly. I demand to speak with R. Fowler. I know that's who owns this building. Behind her, Lacey was frantically Googling on her phone, probably searching property records. Ma'am? Isaiah remained professional. I can't confirm or deny. Don't patronize me. I have rights. I'll call my lawyer. The one who handled your bankruptcy, I whispered to the screen. Leo moved beside me. Rose, watch this. I typed a quick email from my property management account. Dear Mrs. Karen, due to your aggressive behaviour toward our staff, your application has been flagged for review. A decision will be made within 48 hours. On screen, Mum's phone buzzed. Her face went pale, reading the message. No, she muttered. Lacey, do something. Lacey stepped forward, all Instagram confidence gone. Mum, I think I found something. R. Fowler. What if it's... Not now, Mum snapped. We need this apartment. Your father's staying in that horrible motel, and my sister won't let us crash anymore. And... Mum. Lacey's voice shook. I think R. Fowler might be... I said not now. Go post something useful on Instagram. Get your followers to pressure them. I closed the laptop. Still think I'm being too harsh? Leo was quiet for a long moment. What unit are you putting them in? 507. I smiled slightly. The one behind the bar, next to the dumpsters, with the broken elevator. Jesus, Rose! It's what we can approve with their credit history. Plus, I pulled up the building plans. It's right below the maintenance office. Every complaint they file, every tantrum they throw, every scheme they plot. We'll hear it all. And then what? Then they learn what it feels like to be powerless, to need help and find none, to... My phone rang. Dad's number. "Aren't you going to answer?" Leo asked. I let it go to voicemail. Dad had never answered when I needed him. The message notification popped up. "Rose, honey, it's Dad. I know you probably don't want to talk to us, but we're in trouble. Real trouble. If you know anyone in real estate, anyone who could help, please, your mother's not handling this well. And Lacey, just please call me back." Leo watched me delete the message. What happens when they figure out it's you? They won't. But even as I said it, I remembered Lacey's face in the lobby, the way she'd started to say something about R. Fowler. My phone buzzed again. Isaiah. Ms. Lacey asking strange questions about the owner's background. Should I be concerned? I thought about all the layers of LLCs, the careful paperwork, the hidden ownership. "No," I typed back. "Let them dig. They won't find anything?" But for the first time since this started, I felt a flicker of doubt. The lease agreement sat in my outbox, waiting to be sent. 12 pages of carefully crafted consequences. I hovered over the send button when my phone rang. Isaiah. "Ms. Rose? Lacey's here again. She's different this time." I switched to the security feed. Lacey stood at the front desk, no makeup, hair pulled back, none of her usual influencer polish. "Please," she was saying, "I know R. Fowler is connected to this building. I need to speak with them." "I'm not authorized to—" "It's my sister." Lacey's voice cracked. "R. Fowler? It's Rose, isn't it?" My heart stopped. On screen, Isaiah maintained his poker face. "Ma'am, I don't know any Rose." "Listen." Lacey leaned in. "I found property records linking this building to a company that was registered the same year Rose got her real estate license. The initial filing had an RF signature. It's her, isn't it? She's punishing us." I grabbed my phone, texting Leo. "She knows." His reply was instant. "How bad?" "She can't prove anything," I typed back. "But she suspects." On screen, Isaiah was handling it perfectly. "Ms. Lacey, I simply process applications. The owner's identity is confidential." "Then give her a message." Lacey pulled out her phone, showing Instagram DMs. "Tell her I have proof of every time she abandoned us, every family event she skipped, every time she chose money over family. My followers would love that story. Successful businesswoman who turned her back on her struggling sister." I laughed out loud. The irony was almost too perfect. My phone buzzed. "Mom. Sweetie, been trying to reach you. Having some housing issues. Remember that building I mentioned? Well, funny story. Delete." Another text from Leo. "What's your play?" I looked at the lease agreement on my screen, at the security feed showing Lacey's desperate attempts at manipulation, at Mom's deleted message. "Watch this," I replied to Leo. I hit send on the lease. Isaiah's computer dinged. On screen, I watched him open the email. "Oh," he said to Lacey, "your application has been processed. We can offer you Unit 507. Lacey's face lit up. "Really? See? I knew talking to the owner would—" "However," Isaiah continued, reading from his screen, "due to your credit history and behavioral concerns, there are special conditions." "What conditions?" "Mandatory financial counseling sessions, weekly character assessments, no guests for 6 months, triple security deposit, and—" Isaiah paused. "All tenants must attend monthly community service events." "Community service?" Lacey's voice rose. "But I'm an influencer. I have content to create." "The lease terms are non-negotiable." "Let me see that." Lacey grabbed the papers, scanning quickly. Her face went from hopeful to horrified. This is humiliating. Who wrote these terms?" "The owner, R. Fowler." Lacey's hands shook. "It is Rose. It has to be. Only she would be this vindictive." My phone buzzed again, a message from an unknown number. "I know it's you, sis. Let's talk. I have screenshots that would make great content. Would be a shame if your tenants knew their landlord abandoned her family." I forwarded it to Leo with, "Still think I'm being too harsh?" His reply, "Be careful. Cornered animals bite hardest." On screen, Lacey was calling Mom. "It's definitely Rose. Yes, the building. No, worse than we thought. She's trying to humiliate us." I opened my email and typed a quick message from my property management account. Dear Ms. Lacey, attempted blackmail of ownership will result in immediate application rejection. Please refer to Section 8.3 of rental terms. Send. Lacey's phone buzzed. She read the message, face draining of colour. Mom? Her voice shook. The owner they knew what How did they... I switched off the feed and leaned back, remembering a day 10 years ago. Me, begging Mum to help with tuition. Her response, sorry, honey, but Lacey needs a new car for her influencer brand. You understand, right? It's about building her future. My phone lit up. Dad again. Rose, please. Your mother's hysterical. Lacey's threatening to expose family secrets. We need help. I started typing a response to Isaiah. If they accept the lease terms, require them to take a photo for tenant ID. Label it high risk. Monitor for manipulation attempts. Post it in the staff room. Just like they'd labelled me the difficult child. The one who needed character building. The one who wasn't worth investing in. My finger hovered over send when another text came through. Lacey. Fine, sis. You win. We'll sign. But remember, karma goes both ways. I smiled and hit send on Isaiah's instructions. Oh, I know, I whispered to my empty office. I'm counting on it. Ms. Rose? Malia knocked softly before entering my office. She'd been one of my first tenants, back when I only owned a small duplex. Got a minute? Always for you. I gestured to the chair across from my desk, quickly minimizing the security feed, showing Lacey pacing in the lobby. Just wanted to thank you for the rent assistance program? Malia smiled. My daughter got accepted to college, first in our family. That's wonderful. Remember when I first applied? Single mum, terrible credit, but you took a chance? I nodded, remembering my own desperate apartment searches, the doors that closed in my face. You helped me rebuild, Malia continued. The financial literacy classes, the credit counselling. I'm actually helping other tenants now through the support group. My phone buzzed. Isaiah. Lacey trying to bribe maintenance staff for owner info, offering exposure as payment. Speaking of tenants, Malia said, there's a new family touring today. They seem tense. Oh? The mother keeps name-dropping. The daughter's filming everything for social media. They're kind of making the other residents uncomfortable. Another text from Isaiah. Mrs. Karen demanding to know why their unit isn't ready yet. Lease isn't even signed. I should handle that, I said, standing. Rose? Malia touched my arm. Whatever's going on with them, remember why you started this. You helped me when no one else would. That's who you are. My phone lit up. Leo. Found something you need to see. I met him in the coffee shop across the street. He pushed a folder across the table. Your family's financials, he said. The real story. I opened it. Bank statements, property records, loan documents. They sold the house? I whispered. 3 months ago. Way under market value. Needed quick cash for Lacey's debts. But that house was their retirement plan. Gets worse. Leo pointed to another document. They moved in with Lacey temporarily. She defaulted on her lease 2 weeks later. They've been hotel hopping since. Why didn't they call you? Leo raised an eyebrow. Would you have answered? Before I could respond, my phone buzzed. Dad calling. Again. Rose. Leo's voice was gentle. Maybe it's time to... No. I silenced the call. They made their choices. Did they? Or did Karen make them, and everyone else fell in line? The voicemail notification popped up. Against my better judgment, I played it on speaker. Rose. Dad's voice was rough. I know you own the building. I figured it out from the LLC registration date. It matched when you got your license. The day I should have been there. I reached to delete it, but Leo caught my hand. I failed you, Dad continued. I let everything happen. And now we're facing consequences. Just, please don't take this out on them. Take it out on me. I'm the one who should have stopped it. The message ended. Leo watched me carefully. He's manipulating me, I said. They all are. Maybe, or maybe he's finally seeing clearly. My phone buzzed again. Isaiah sending security footage. Lacey was crying at the front desk. Please, she begged. We can't afford another hotel. Mum's having panic attacks. Dad's sleeping in his car. The lease terms are non-negotiable, Isaiah replied. Then let me talk to Rose. Lacey's composure cracked. I know it's her. Tell her I'm sorry. Tell her she wins. Just help us. Please. I closed the video as Malia's words echoed in my head. Remember why you started this. What are you thinking? Leo asked. I'm thinking... I pulled out my laptop, opening the lease agreement. Maybe it's time to show them exactly who owns their future. Rose? Not like that. I started typing. I'm thinking it's time for a face-to-face meeting. All of us. You sure? I thought about Dad sleeping in his car, about Mum's panic attacks, about Lacey's tears, real ones, not the Instagram kind. No, I admitted, but Malia's right. I built this place to help people rebuild, even if those people are... family? DNA contributors, I corrected, but without heat. My phone lit up with another security alert. Mum was at the desk now, all pretense of status gone. Please, she was saying, we'll take any unit, any terms, just help us. I looked at Leo. Want to witness some karma in action? Only if you promise to remember who you are, not who they made you. I nodded, drafting an email to Isaiah. Schedule a meeting, tomorrow. Tell them the owner of our Fowler properties will see them personally. And then, I thought about Malia's daughter going to college, about second chances and rebuilt lives. Then we see if they're ready to learn what character building really means. The conference room felt smaller with them in it. Mum sat rigidly straight, designer bag patched but prominently displayed. Lacey kept checking her phone, probably documenting this manifestation journey for her followers. Dad just stared at his hands. The owner will be here shortly, Isaiah said, setting out water bottles nobody touched. I still don't understand all these special conditions, Mum started. Surely our social connections... The door opened. I walked in, wearing my best blazer, the one I'd bought after my first million. Leo followed, carrying files. The silence was deafening. Rose? Lacey's phone clattered to the table. Hello, family. I sat at the head of the table. I believe you wanted to meet the owner of our Fowler properties. Mum's face went through several shades of pale. You can't what, Mum? Build something successful? Own property? Have power? This is vindictive, she whispered. Vindictive? I opened their application file. Like threatening legal action before you're even approved? Like trying to blackmail staff? Like offering exposure as payment? Lacey flinched. I can explain. No need. Your social media already did. Day 15 of manifesting my luxury apartment. Universe, I claim this. Tell me, how's that working out? Rose, please. Dad finally looked up. We know we deserve... You deserve? I pulled out another file. Let's talk about what people deserve. Remember when I begged for help with college? When I worked 2 jobs while Lacey got a car for her influencer brand? That was different, Mum protested. We were investing in her future. And now? I spread out their financial documents. Bankruptcy, evictions, defaulted loans, some investment. Lacey started crying. Not Instagram tears this time. I'm sorry, okay? I messed up. We all messed up. Just help us, please. Like you helped me? Rose. Leo's quiet voice reminded me of my promise. I took a deep breath. Here's what's going to happen. You can have Unit 507. Hope flickered across their faces. But, I pulled out the lease. Every condition stands. Financial counselling, character assessments, no guests, no social media posts about the building, 1 violation and you're out. That's, Mum started. Character building, I finished. Isn't that what you always said, Mum? When I was eating ramen while Lacey flew first class? Dad reached for the lease with shaking hands. We'll sign. Whatever you want. One more thing. I nodded to Leo, who pulled out a camera. We need photos for your tenant IDs. They'll be posted in the staff room with a special tag, Monitor for Manipulation Risk. You can't humiliate us like this. Mum stood up. Can't I? Isn't that what you did to me? Every Christmas I couldn't afford gifts. Every family photo I missed because I was working. Every time you labelled me the difficult one. I never meant... Dad's voice cracked. To what? To let Mom control everything? To watch Lacey drain you dry? To ignore every call when I needed help? Silence fell. Lacey's mascara left black trails on her cheeks. Mum's perfectly maintained facade crumbled. "The lease," I said quietly, "is non-negotiable. Sign or leave." Dad picked up the pen first. His signature was barely legible. Mum followed, lips trembling. Lacey last, her influencer confidence nowhere to be seen. "Welcome to the building," I stood up. "Isaiah will show you to your unit. The one behind the bar, next to the dumpsters. Rose," Lacey tried one last time. "We're still family." "No." I gathered my files. "Family helps each other. Family shows up. Family answers the phone." "You're right," Dad said suddenly. "About everything. I should have been there." "But you weren't." I headed for the door. "None of you were. So this is revenge?" Mum's voice shook. "Making us suffer like you did?" I turned back. "No, Mum. This is business. Just business. Like when you told me my education wasn't a worthwhile investment." Leo followed me out. In the hallway, he touched my arm. "You okay?" Through the conference room window, I watched them. Mum crying silently. Dad holding the lease like a death sentence. Lacey staring at her dark phone screen. "I don't know," I answered honestly. "But I know this. They're about to learn what real character building feels like. And you?" I thought about Malia's daughter going to college, about second chances and karma and the wheel turning. "I'm going to do what they never did," I said. "I'm going to watch and see if they learn from their mistakes." My phone buzzed. Isaiah. "Ready to show them the unit?" "Yes," I typed back. "And Isaiah, make sure they understand. Every complaint, every scheme, every manipulation attempt gets logged, just like they logged every time I disappointed them." "Karma's a funny thing," Leo said quietly. I watched my family follow Isaiah to the elevator. "No," I replied. "Karma's just fair." Finally, from my office window, I watched them unload their belongings into Unit 507. Mum's designer luggage looked out of place next to garbage bags full of clothes. Dad's shoulders hunched as he carried boxes labelled Lacey's influencer equipment. Lacey herself hadn't posted anything in days. "First rent check cleared," Leo said, entering with coffee. "Financial counselling starts tomorrow." How many items did they try to sneak past security? 3 phones registered to fake names, 2 hidden cameras, and a ring light. He sat down. Isaiah confiscated everything per the lease terms. My laptop chimed. An email from Malia. "Tenant support group meets tonight. Your family's welcome to join. Sometimes rock bottom needs a safety net." "Delete it?" Leo asked. I thought about the day I hit my own rock bottom, about instant noodles and rejected loan applications and unanswered calls. "No," I replied. "Forward it to them." "Rose," Leo hesitated. "I saw your dad sleeping in his car last night, in the far corner of the parking lot. The lease prohibits overnight parking." "I know, but maybe—" A knock interrupted us. Isaiah entered, looking uncomfortable. "Ms. Rose, your sister's here. Says it's important." Lacey stood in the doorway, wearing sweats instead of her usual Instagram-ready outfit. No makeup, no phone in hand. "Can we talk?" she asked quietly. I gestured to the chair. She sat, hands twisting in her lap. "Mum doesn't know I'm here," she started. "She's still processing." "Processing what? Consequences?" "I deserve that." Lacey met my eyes. "I deserved all of it. The lease terms, the humiliation, everything. This should be good. Remember when you won that scholarship? The one I stole your essay for?" My hands tightened on the armrests. "What about it?" "I never spent the money on school. I used it for my first failed business. Mum covered it up, said you were just jealous of my entrepreneurial spirit. Is this confession hour?" "No, it's—" Lacey's voice cracked. "It's me finally admitting that everything I built was stolen from you. Money, opportunities, support. I took it all. And look what you did anyway. Look what you built." Through the window, I watched Mum attempting to rearrange the dumpster view with her remaining houseplants. "Why are you telling me this?" "Because—" Lacey pulled out a wrinkled envelope. "This was my backup plan. Proof you'd abandoned us. Screenshots, photos, Everything I was going to use to shame you online. She ripped it in half. That's it? I asked. You think destroying evidence of your attempted blackmail fixes anything? No, nothing fixes it. But maybe... She glanced at the tenant support group flyer on my desk. Maybe we can learn. Actually learn this time. My phone buzzed. A text from Dad. The financial counselor said I should have supported your real estate dreams instead of enabling Lacey's schemes. He's right. I'm sorry. They're not all bad people, Leo said softly. Just lost ones. I thought about Malia's words. Sometimes rock bottom needs a safety net. The lease terms stand, I said to Lacey. Every single one. I know. And I'm not your safety net anymore. No more bailouts, no more covering up mistakes. I know that too. She stood up. But maybe we could get coffee sometime? Just talk? Through the window, I watched Dad finally notice his car being towed from the overnight spot. We'll see, I said. Depends on how seriously you take the character building. Lacey nodded and left. Leo watched her go. Well, he asked. Well, what? Did revenge taste as sweet as you thought? I looked at my empire of brick and steel, built from every rejection they'd ever dealt me. At Mom struggling with discount curtains in a window, facing bar noise. At Dad trudging toward the impound lot. At Lacey, walking away without a phone in hand for the first time in years. It's not about revenge anymore, I realised. It's about breaking cycles. My laptop chimed again. An email from Isaiah. Mrs. Karen asking about financial counselling schedule. Actually asking, not demanding. Progress? Maybe. Maybe not. But as I watched my family navigate their new reality, humbled, struggling, finally facing consequences, I felt something shift. Not forgiveness, not yet, but possibility. You know what the biggest difference is between us? I asked Leo. When I hit rock bottom, I built a foundation. Let's see what they build. Through the window, Mum was reading the tenant support group flyer. Dad was calling the financial counsellor. Lacey was helping another resident carry groceries. Small steps, tiny changes, but real ones. I opened my laptop and typed a quick message to Isaiah. Tell them I'll be at the support group meeting, not as their daughter, not as their landlord, but as someone who knows rock bottom doesn't have to be the end of the story. It just has to be the end of the old one.